What is up, my fellow YouTubers? This video is for my fellow Lyft and Uber drivers. And in this video, I'm going to go over why I did not do Uber this weekend, over St. Patty's Day. I know everyone's going to be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why didn't you do Uber over St. Patty's Day? You would make a killing. And frankly, they are right. Those that drove this week made tons of money. And I am so glad that they did. I chose not to drive for a couple of reasons. One right now is knowing your market. Okay, so I live in Lancaster County. It is for the most part, an Amish town that's growing into a middle class. Inside Lancaster County, there are 5 main bars that people go to that are considered Irish pubs. I never did the bar scene, so I've never known the predictiveness or predictive nature of those pubs. And frankly, if I were to have done it over the Saturday and this weekend, I would have made more careless errors than I would have actually been successful. Knowing your market, you have to know your clientele, and most of your clientele on St. Patrick's Day are going to be those that are going out celebrating the holiday and getting drunk. I've never driven drunk people around. I've made my money on the morning shift or taking 2 people from the airport. See, I've never done bar shifts because, well, frankly, I don't really want people throwing up in my car. I like my car. I don't want to have to charge someone because they threw up in my car. I don't like that. It sucks, so I've chosen to go about not driving at nighttime. But that's not to say in the future I'm not going to, because I'm going to try to evolve and learn the bar scenes and what your riders' expectations are during the bar scene, because they're not the same as those coming from going to and coming from work. So adapting your car and your amenities to your riders. The second thing is keep being in good health. Okay, so I didn't do Uber or Lyft this weekend, frankly, because I was really tired. I was out on a good, fun adventure with my manager and my co-workers, and also my friends. We were in Atlantic City. It was my first time. It was a fun weekend. We were there for a conference, and that, as well as getting co-worker bonding time, so to speak. So by the time I got out of trying to get home on Saturday, I got home, and frankly, I was too tired to actually drive. I picked up 2 passengers that day and realized this is not a safe idea to drive them, because frankly, I'm too tired to actually be paying attention, and I'm going to make a lot of careless errors, and I'm going to put my riders in jeopardy. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to get off the road, and I'm not going to be driving today. So that's what I did. I went home, took a nap, got up, and what I was seeing was there was a lot of surges going on, and I was like, man, if I was not this tired, I would probably be trying this. So there's the second reason as to why, and it was a safety reason. It was not good for either of my passengers if their driver was not able to function on the road. Right. And the last one is that I learned is to predict the surge. And frankly, what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to be calling up the bars and finding out where their customers are generally from. See, if you know where they're coming from, you can actually predict the flow of where the riders are going to be. See, I was seeing up to four times surges, and I was like, man, if I knew where it was, I would totally get ahead of that curve. But I was getting drawn into it, and I knew I wasn't going to drive. But if I was going to, I would change this around and predict my flow of customers. And that's the final thing. You should be able to predict your customers. St. Patrick's Day, you generally have an all-day drinking fest or drinking day. So knowing what time bars open up next year is going to be key, as well as knowing what certain events during those days are going to draw the most people into. So you knowing where they're going and who's going to. So that's going to be the next thing. And then remembering that, hey, this is you're in it for the long haul. So doing this, you're gonna have to, it's better to work smarter and make 50 hours an hour as opposed to, hey, I'm gonna work for this long and only make 20 hours an hour on St. Patrick's Day, because you're working smarter and not harder. And the final tip of advice is going back to number 2, as I skipped this point. St. Patrick's Day, as in any retail, is like retail is Black Friday. You know it's going to be busy. You gotta stay alert and gotta stay focused on remembering that, hey, it's a busy day. You're going to make a lot of money. Just remember that, hey, you're going to be stressed out, and there's going to be a lot more cars and passengers around that can get under your skin. Remember that it's just one day. You're gonna make a lot of money, and your bank account's gonna love you for it. I hope you enjoyed learning the 3 things I made a mistake on Sorry, I almost said Black Friday. This St. Patrick's Day, which I'm hoping that I will remember for next year and fix it and make a ton of money like the rest of my fellow Uber and Lyft drivers. And hopefully you learned something from it, that you learned from my mistakes, what to do and how to improve next year. As I'm signing off now, thank you my YouTube viewers and fellow Uber and Lyft drivers.